Good Thursday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We got a busy forecast to overview and one to come up here on this Thursday, the 25th of February, 2016. This is what Doppler looked like last night with this squall line as it raced northeast across the forecast region with wind damage, heavy rain reports, blown out windows in some people's houses, just an incredible amount of damage across the region last night as this made its way through. There's additional rain showers already showing up over the Poconos this morning as the back end of this comes through. And there was a lot of bowing with this storm system as the front and prefrontal trough came through the region last night early this morning. Of course, with this, there was the total storm digital output here from Doppler in Dix Airport in Mount Holly here, Fort Dix. You can see out over the ocean, we had estimations of over 2.5 inches of rain in spots across the from southwest to northeast as these storms were moving rapidly at about 50, 60, 70. There were reports of these storms moving as high as 80 to 100 miles per hour from southwest to northeast, parallel to the ridges here in the mountains. And all of this produced moderate pockets of rain in some areas with moderate flooding across the central portion of New Jersey, where the watch boxes are still up this morning. Let's get into the watches, warnings, and advisories here in Pennsylvania. We have still for northwestern Warren County in northwestern New Jersey, Northampton County in eastern Pennsylvania, and also for Lehigh, southeastern Monroe, in also northwestern Bucks on several creeks and streams across the Lehigh Valley in northwestern New Jersey continue to hover around or exceed flood stage. We'll show you those. This is in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. Also further south here, we have aerial flood warnings until 7:45, which is about to expire. And there's additional flood warnings here across southeastern Pennsylvania around Philadelphia as well until 5 on Friday morning. That's from really significant heavy rain that's fallen through this area. And this is for the flood stage at 14 feet. The flood stage is actually at 13 feet, so it's over that. Minor flooding occurring, minor flooding forecasted across the areas here of the flowing rivers in Pennsylvania, the Schuylkill River at Norristown affecting Chester, Montgomery, and Philadelphia. Dangerous situation out here this morning. Further to the south, coastal flood advisories in the Delmarva area. And further in New Jersey here, we have aerial flood warnings here in New Jersey, and this is for Mercer County and Somerset counties until later this morning at 10:15. Again, we have several creeks and streams across Mercer and Somerset counties which continue to hover around or exceed flood stage. Here to the north, we have these taken off now for the Newark, New Jersey area. They were just taken off. Small craft advisories for the back bays here until 6 on Friday. Further to the north, we still have aerial flood advisories here, and this is for Yonkers and also southwestern Bergen County and Rockland County until 11 a.m. this morning for flooding streams and rivers in this area. So we'll be monitoring that. On the waters here, gale warnings until Friday morning at 6 a.m. Coastal waters of South Shore and East Ends of Long Island, gale warnings until Friday morning at 6 a.m. North Shore of Long Island Sound, South Shore of Connecticut, small craft advisories until 6 p.m. on Friday. Very busy morning here. These are just some of the storm reports from late last night. Flooding across southeastern Pennsylvania, 2.5 inches of rain in spots. We had wind damage reports here all across the Philadelphia area, central New Jersey, northeastern New Jersey, the New York City metropolitan area, all the way up into southeastern New York and Connecticut from last night's thunderstorms. Wanted to quickly pull up a graphic. There's a lot of people out there that seem to believe the anomaly of not having tornado watch boxes in effect during the winter months. Has it ever happened before? Well, I've researched it a couple of times, and yes, it did. This is an example of the early morning hours of January 14th, 2006, when we had a squall line very similar to the construction of what last night's Doppler radar looked like, and we had all of these tornado watch boxes in effect. So it does happen. It's rare, but it does happen during the winter months. Now, of course, with all the wind and heavy rain, we have some 11,895 homes and businesses without power early this morning. Jersey Central Power and Light reporting 5,000 outages, mainly Monmouth County. Most of PSE&G's 46,000 customers outages are in Middlesex and Camden County. Atlantic City Electric is reporting just over 2,000 customers without service, mostly in Gloucester and Atlantic counties. Of course, you can get the latest from our blog site under the power outage drop-down box. Also, to get the current regional river flood gauge forecast and reports of current, you can go to our blog site under the river forecast, the river flood forecast gauges in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut regional drop-down box to show you. As of this morning, this is one example here, and there is plenty of other rivers near or over the forecast or flood stages this morning. So for the latest, it's Garden State Weather Blog, river flood forecast gauges drop-down box. Okay, so lots of things going on. Still lots of low clouds around the region. Partly sunny skies in some areas this morning with breaks in between. More clouds are filling into the west as we have ceilings lowering. Some rain showers across the region, across Pennsylvania. All of this is a series of troughs and weak cold fronts moving through the region. Every one of these is going to be swinging through with its spoke of moisture and drying air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. So we're going to have a few showers around the region today and rapidly dropping temperatures and gusty winds for late this afternoon and this evening. Right now it is mild out there as one cold front moves through, but the winds are still out of the southwest ahead of the next cold front, which is swinging through, and it won't take until later this afternoon when this cold front here moves through the region before the winds completely shift around to the northwest. So we're changeable skies through today, and we start out right now in the 50s, which is very warm for this time of the morning, and we're going to drop it back down into the 30s by later this afternoon, especially during tonight. Sunny over your forecast region this morning. More clouds building in from the west, as I mentioned. There's more lifting here in the water vapor, drying, sinking air right now over the area. So lots of sunshine in the New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia metropolitan area this morning, but that's all going to change throughout the afternoon as the cold fronts move through the region. Here's some additional lifting here in the southwest flow across Pennsylvania. More spokes of energy to our west. All of this is going to be swinging through over the next several hours until tonight, until this big upper level low begins to move into southeastern Canada, finally drags the final cold front through the region by late tonight. Of note, currently there are no airport delays, but you do want to check with your carrier if you're flying out this morning or this afternoon. Here's the first cold front from the deep area of low pressure here, moving up the St. Lawrence River Valley into Canada here. That's moving through the region. Still, there are several fronts to go through until we get into western Pennsylvania here. Then behind this cold front, things begin to settle down. So there will be some isolated showers around the region as the prefrontal trough from this cold front moves through during the afternoon and evening hours today. Everything's going to dry out as the final front passes through. The trough access passes through late this evening, early tomorrow morning. There could be some downwind lake effect streamers here. Most of this drying out before it reaches the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. Then just a huge area of high pressure beginning to build in. We still have an additional trough access here across the region early tomorrow morning. Downwind the lake, some snow showers, but generally dry in the northwesterly flow. High pressure still building in across the forecast region. Temperature is going to modify this weekend from the chilly 30s on Thursday and Friday, which is today and tomorrow. Actually, today it's going to be in the 50s still. And then temperature is going to rise over the weekend as this area of high pressure begins to build in across our region, warming heights across the region as well. We have to wait till early next week before the next areas of Pacific energy make their way into the eastern United States, with a couple of cold fronts moving through the region and the chance for precipitation increasing by Monday. NAM 4-kilometer reflectivity and composite forecast going into the future. Here's the rain showers with the secondary cold front coming through later this afternoon on a southwesterly wind. And then everything begins to dry out, even though these lake effect snow showers will begin to dry out in the air as the lapse rates begin to steepen and the air begins to dry out aloft. So most people will not experience any snow shower activity at all in our forecast region as we head into the weekend. Everything looks dry and high pressure is in control. GFS extrapolated through the weekend. Everything looks dry until we get another cold front moving into the region by Monday afternoon. It's positively tilted here. All the energy is in southeastern Canada associated with the low, so just an isolated chance of a shower across the region. And it will be mild during that period as well. More high pressure begins to build in across the region for the middle part of next week, and then another storm system once again heads up towards the Great Lakes and southeastern Canada and the areas here, and this means warm air advection, isentropic lift, and more moderate to heavy rain developing across the region. And this would be on the Wednesday into Thursday time frame as that storm again moves up into the St. Lawrence River Valley, Ontario, and Quebec. Cold air to follow once again, with thicknesses really cooling down by the end of next week, the first full week of March 2016. More action coming in after that as well. Winter storm threats through March. Well, yes, they're on the table, but there's a couple of things I'm looking at here. This is the 500 millibar pattern. I do believe this is the 500 millibar pattern. It's the 250 millibar pattern, and that is above the jet stream here at jet stream level. The things that we want to pay attention to is where the ridge of high pressure is. It's located east of Greenland here. If we really want it more blocking, and this upper level low across southeastern Canada should be further to the west. So it's too far to the east. And so where the blocking mechanisms aren't going to really be in place, so the polar and subtropical branches, while they merge, they're going to be very fast moving and out to sea they go if this continues in this configuration. So it's no wonder why people are sick right now. There's a lot of people that are sick, and even I don't feel so well this morning as well, with coughing and sneezing, but don't have a cold. It's basically allergies, probably mold. Anyway, temperatures today averaging above normal in the 50s. As we get into tomorrow, as the cold front comes through, finally we get back down to near normal, slightly below normal. Temperatures ranging around 40 degrees across the forecast region for tomorrow afternoon. On Friday, that's normal for February. Temperatures warming up a little bit on Saturday, but not by much, still holding in around 40 degrees in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. And then a warming trend begins for the weekend. This model guidance looks, well, here we go. Temperatures are warming up into the low to mid 50s by Sunday. That trend should continue on Monday as well. We should find our temperatures still warming through the mid and upper 50s on Monday, which is above normal. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, we find temperatures again near normal, slightly above normal, mid to upper 40s. And by next Wednesday, just ahead of all the changes that are ongoing after this next rainstorm comes through, we'll find temperatures again averaging between 45 and 50 degrees. So start taking those allergy tablets. You're going to need them this spring. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to need them. And you're probably going to have to boost yourself on iron and plenty of vitamin C as well. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecast Robert Smith. Be safe out there today. We'll see you bright and early on Friday morning.